r/AskReddit by Reddit. Scientists of Reddit, what are some scary scientific discoveries that most of the public is unaware of? Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Enjoy the video. Many people may be silent carriers for mad cow disease and won't know for another decade or so. Mad cow disease from the 1980s-1990s was due to cows being fed the remains of other animals. People then ate their beef and consumed prions, a protein that can destroy the human brain. It's thought that many people still might carry prions, but won't know until they start experiencing the symptoms of Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease or bovine spongiform encephalopathy, which might be 10 to 50 years after consuming the contaminated meat. It has a long incubation period. You can also contract the prions from blood transfusions, which is why so many UK citizens from that time period still aren't allowed to donate blood. Once the symptoms begin, cognitive impairment, memory loss, hallucinations, etc., you usually die within months. There is no cure or treatment. First one, the vast overuse of antibiotics has led to superbugs that are antibiotic resistant. At the same time, the diversity of microbes within the human has drastically decreased in first world countries. This leads to a correlated rise in allergies and gastrointestinal diseases. As we use more antibiotics and antibacterial/viral products, then biodiversity of microbes decrease, and superbugs have a much easier pathway of invading the body. With a very biodiverse microbiome, your resident microbes will try to fight off these infections much easier. We need to focus on helping bacteria, not killing all of it. Not a scientist, but I will still take the time to mention something that scares the crap out of me. I only found about a month ago, and I don't think a lot of people are aware of but probably should be. Back in 1946 to 58, the US tested 60 nuclear weapons on the Marshall Islands and buried the nuclear leftover waste and soil in a 30 feet deep cavern, sealing it with a concrete dome. The dome is cracking, and now it's leaking into the ocean, and surprise surprise, it's not fixing itself, and the people responsible are essentially ignoring it or saying it is not their problem. Imagine Chernobyl but bigger and in the ocean. The Higgs Boson, which was hypothesized decades ago, was discovered via the Large Hadron Collider. Its real-life discovery proved that it's what gives mass to everything. But there is a non-zero chance that a Higgs boson can drop to a lower energy state. And because of the law of entropy, it's the preferred state to decay to a lower energy state if possible. The influence of a low energy state boson would kick off a chain reaction, causing other Higgs bosons to drop to a lower energy state. The problem with this is that if a Higgs boson drops to a lower energy state, then it can't give mass to things anymore, which has universal implications when mass doesn't have mass anymore. It's theorized that the infinitesimal small probability of this occurring could lead to a circumstance where the universe as we know it disappears. Essentially, it would occur like an absolute void progressing through the universe, low energy state Higgs bosons infecting any other Higgs boson they come across. Maybe the closest thing to a Thanos snap, but it causes everything to disappear in the universe, but only at the speed of light rather than instantaneously. Doesn't that mean it could have already happened somewhere? It's just too many light years away for us to even notice it. Yes, there could be a growing sphere at the speed of light, and we would have no idea this is occurring. Goes for other things too, like stranglets. Second one, our immune system is very amazing at what it does, but it is also super dangerous. B cells and T cells have the potential of being very self-reactive. They can slip past cells that are supposed to kill self-reactive immune cells, and they can cause autoimmunity. To help combat autoimmunity in super important parts of the body, eyes, genitalia, brain, etc., then these areas become immune privileged. Basically, immune cells can't go in those areas at all. One of the most terrifying things is infections using those immune privileged sites to their advantage. In Ebola survivors, the virus can hide in those sites and reinfect the patient later on. In one case, Ebola was in the eye of a survivor and caused his eye to change color. In other cases, Ebola was transferred as an STD because it was hiding in the genitalia of a survivor who transferred to their sexual partner. I have a few Vacuum decay. Do you know how batteries die? How a cold beverage will heat over time? Or how everything you put into motion will eventually stop? That's because of entropy. Matter doesn't like to have a lot of energy. It always wants to reach the lowest possible state of energy. Yeah, I know, the bottom of the graph. The universe is doing that right now, everywhere. There's this hypothesis that our current lowest possible state might not be real, just sitting close to a bump that'll end in an even lower state, and particles could be just some quantum tunneling away from reaching it. But why is this important? Because if that ever happens, it'd create a cascade effect moving through space that would destroy everything it touches, potentially replacing it with new laws of physics, because the constants would change. And we wouldn't know until it's too late. Strange matter, with an effect not unlike vacuum decay, this time caused by compression of particles in the core of neutron stars to the point of fusing regular quarks, up, down, etc., into strange quarks that some physicists hypothesize could be more stable than regular quarks. Again, creates a cascade turning everything it touches into strange matter for which we don't yet know the properties of. Supernovae and gamma ray bursts. Any supernova closer than 1000 light years could damage Earth's atmosphere. Gamma ray bursts are even faster and more dangerous. It's estimated that there are more than 3 million stars within 1000 light years of the solar system. Human impact on the climate. It's already past the point of no return. We probably won't get extinct from this, at least, but the next decades will be harsh for all of our planet's biomes. Biologists are calling it the sixth mass extinction or Anthropocene extinction now, because we're the ones causing it, as the current rate of species vanishing is already 100 to 1000 times the normal. This number is only set to increase as the climate becomes more extreme. Space is really big. It's hard to find stuff. Stellar black holes are really small and can't be detected if they are not interacting with anything. Some models suggest that there could be tens of thousands of black holes hiding in our galaxy. Blue ice. It's the name given to the frozen sewage material that has leaked mid-flight from commercial aircraft lavatory waste systems. If it falls, it can damage roofs or even you. So yeah, you can be walking on the street one moment and in the next die, impaled by frozen pee. Artificial General Intelligence, AGI. In other words, a digital computer that is superhuman in all cognitive tasks. Humans are imbued by evolution with a sort of general learning algorithm, but it's running in a very slow biological computer with low input/output speed, talking, tapping thumbs, reading etc. Once we can implant that algorithm in silicon, a computer chip, there's a good chance it'll be superhuman in a matter of days or less. Sort of on the level of intelligence gap you might feel between you and a mosquito. At that point, it doesn't even have to be malicious to destroy all of humanity. As Max Tegmark has put it, the real risk with artificial general intelligence isn't malice but competence. A super intelligent AI will be extremely good at accomplishing its goals, and if those goals aren't aligned with ours, we are in trouble. The implications of this would be all-encompassing. It would change the whole game. And many top experts believe it could happen within the next 10 years. Aortic dissections. The main artery from your heart runs down through your body, supplying blood to both your femoral arteries. Well, in certain circumstances, it's entirely possible to just shear the aorta in two. Think cutting a hose completely through with scissors as water is running through it. I've seen this happen once, in a road traffic collision. A guy driving hit a tree, coming to a complete instant stop, dissecting his aorta and bleeding out. Estimates from last time I looked for survival are 1 to 2 minutes at best. If this happens, you are dead. And to put this into perspective, you build up enough energy for this to happen when you are near or surpass 30 miles per hour when driving. Vehicles are crazy dangerous. Be careful out there, people. Not a discovery, but aiming for one. We're in the middle of a second space race, and although in the lead, the US is quickly losing ground. And this one matters way more than the first one did. The country that wins will become the undisputable superpower on Earth for the next 200 years. It's the country to first build a Earth-Lunar space elevator network. The reason being you can only build one lunar elevator. It requires the L1 Lagrange point to build, and there's only one. Building a lunar space elevator and an Earth space elevator gives practically free access to all the resources of the solar system. For one example, there's one asteroid we know of that's solid gold and has more than 10 times the gold all over Earth combined. The winning country will literally dominate the entire world economy with no possible way for any other country to even remotely compete, and that's just raw materials. The military advantages are insane and the industry advantages, zero-G construction, easy vacuum access, cold welding, environment-less industry, would dominate the goods market too, and scientific and energy opportunities are without compare. And despite it being a five-way race, US, EU, China, Japan, Russia, it's getting almost no publicity because they don't want the populace freaking out. Thank you for watching Reddit. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more r/AskReddit videos. Share your stories in the comment section below.